Okay, so we are at China Camp, and this gentleman is the host, and he has an incredible contraption of a bicycle.
So, the standard thing I say is that it's got 3 chains, 2 motors, 3 chains, 3 free wheels.
Okay.
I can dial in anything I want at any time, including pedaling. So if I dial in the low range, if I dial in the high range, it turns the low range because that cog is locked to the high. But if I dial in the regular high range, I got it backwards. This is the low range, and you see the high range isn't turning, but if I dial in the high range, they both turn because that cog's locked and the freewheel's up here.
Okay.
Then I can pedal too, because that's on a freewheel too.
Okay.
So I can add in any quantity of power I want at any time on the fly without shifting gears, just dialing in the power or pedaling in the power.
Add in. So you're all your drivetrain. You have multiple drivetrains that are always going.
Always engaged.
But you add energy to
free
some of
wheels.
them optionally.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Huh. Okay. So this big chain ring is fixed to the wheel, and then this one is a free spin.
Yeah, but the freewheel for this chain has to be on the motor.
Okay.
So it's up here on the other side where you can't even see it.
Okay.
And I used to wonder, how long can a freewheel if it's freewheeling all the time for thousands of miles? Hasn't quit yet. It's still ratcheting away.
Did you assemble this whole axis assembly yourself?
Yeah, I built the
I assume
whole
so. Of course,
thing.
you can't buy that off the
I
shelf.
built the whole thing.
Wow.
I didn't do the machining or nothing, but I built it. No one's fault, no one to blame but me.
And so you're running rim brakes on all this.
Yeah, boy, imagine if I tried to work discs into that
where's the
mess.
room for that? Yeah.
But I like rim brakes anyway. I'm old school. I'm an old man, old school.
Nice lug steel frame.
Yeah, this frame is just a classic. Plain steel, lugged frame from like the 70s.
Wow.
And it has taken a pounding.
Steel's real, as they say.
Yeah, steel is real. My last thought on this bike is that it doesn't have clearance for tires the size I want.
Oh.
I want 2-inch tires.
Is it your forks or your stays?
The chain stays are just too close together down near the bottom bracket. There's just no clearance.
I see.
So...
Oh yeah, you really got the max you could have there.
Yeah,
You're right
I
at
got
the
it
edge.
right. Oh, there's like 4 millimeters of clearance there.
Yeah, you could not have any wider.
It's nothing.
You could put wider on your front, but couldn't you?
Sure.
You got a little fork clearance?
A little wider, a little bit. But no, if I could get exactly this frame with another 20 millimeters of clearance down there at the chain stays, I'd be in business.
Or could you run a slightly smaller wheel so that your rim is?
Yeah, I don't want to.
You don't do that, okay?
I want to run 700s. Tires are available, all that stuff.
700 by 30.
I had to convert this from 27-inch wheels to. And this dual freewheel setup has to be on a freewheel hub. It can't be on. You can't do dual freewheels on a spine hub, on a cassette hub. There's no such thing. And this is, freewheel hubs are primitive. They don't make this. The combination, when they went to 700 wheels, they also stopped making freewheel hubs. So this is rare. I had to build this wheel.
Okay. You're a little over my head here. I don't know much about hubs. So.
Well, freewheels are old school, primitive. They just don't make this setup. I had to build the wheel with an old school hub and a 700 new school rim. Just for tire availability. Okay. Because you can't get a range of choice in tires.
So you got the hub you wanted and you just spoke this rim onto it?
I spoke it.
Gotcha.
And it's the first time I built a wheel. I built it last week right over there, and I think it's round.
It looks pretty good.
I think it's round. It looks pretty round to me. I could be just kidding myself. But
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, this
and
is very
I
impressive.
just 10 minutes ago got all the geometry back where it's supposed to be with the motor alignment and the wheel alignment and the cog alignment. Just 10 minutes ago.
Oh. What's this gauge here?
Oh, that's watt meter.
Oh, okay.
It does watts and amps and overall amps. It records the peak amps and watts
Wow.
and volts. Watts, amps, and volts.
This is a very impressive accomplishment of bike geekery, I would say.
Yeah, but the thing is, my always final thought on this is that if you list the features you want in an e-bike, you can find somebody who makes one. Just go out and buy
Yeah.
it. Don't do this.
I certainly would not even attempt this.
I started doing this when, it was not the easiest thing to get together.
Oh, so you didn't do it just because you just love building stuff. You did it because it actually wasn't available at the time?
I was always the guy who, on the gig, took things apart and put them back together.
Okay.
Not the engineering. The engineers would say, this is the electrical. This is, bike mechanic stuff. But all of this engineering here, all of the electrical here, they just told me what to do.
Oh, okay.
It's these are like off-the-shelf part number motors, real basic brush motors,
Okay.
real dependable, and they're cheap. So the weird thing is, I put 2,000, almost 3,000 miles on the lower motor, and I pulled it apart to see how the brushes and commutator are doing on the motor, because that's usually what wears. They were fine, but the bearings were shot because heat.
Oh.
And there's a long thing about Ohm's law. Low volts is high amps. High amps means heat.
Okay.
So if I'm fully loaded and I'm walking up a hill at walking speed, I'm putting just a tiny bit of voltage into the motors. They don't like that because it's high amps and high heat.
Oh, going slow damages them.
Yeah, going slow is the worst thing you can do with this bike.
Huh.
I gotta get into active cooling or some other way because sometimes this is the electric pack animal. I just walk. If it's really
so that's
steep.
a frequent circumstance you got to provide for.
It happens maybe a couple of times a day on the road.
Okay.
I would, I've been trying to ride as much as possible because when the volts are up, the amps are down, and that's better for the bike.
I see.
It's also lazier. But I like walking. Do you know Mount Tamalpais at all?
I don't know it well. I don't think I've even been there.
Well, it's 3 miles, 1,500 feet and 3 miles up from Stinson to Panthole Campground, where I have to be there, like here. And I walked that once, and I enjoyed every step of the way. Rangers are passing me. Hey, looks like you're taking a nap there. Yep.
So you're going on to host at another camp, and
No, I don't actually do hosting. I do I check in with hosts and stuff.
Okay.
But
But you get to steep places with this.
Yeah, up and down the coast for thousands of miles.
Wow.